Hello all. So in this video, we will try to discuss some of the previous questions of CSAT 2024. It is just to give you an idea about how to solve the questions with ease when the question paper is moderate to easy. Okay, let's start. What is the least possible number of cuts required to cut a cube into 64 identical pieces? So cubes is one of the very important aspects of CSAT. So here one must understand how to distribute the cuts to get minimum number of pieces and how to distribute the cuts to get to maximum number of identical pieces. To show that, let's understand with small visual. Now someone is thinking how to cut the cube to get a minimum pieces, and how to cut the cube to get maximum pieces. So to get the minimum number of pieces, we will distribute the cuts along the same dimension. And to get maximum number of pieces, we should distribute the cuts along the different dimension. What do you mean by it? So here I'll try to show you with one small diagram. To get a minimum number of pieces, we should be making the cuts in the same dimension. Let me take a cube. We are making 3 cuts. With 3 cuts, how many pieces you are able to obtain in this? If you look for it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 identical pieces over there. But to get maximum pieces, we will be distributing the cuts along the different dimension. Means lengthwise ones, breadthwise ones, heightwise ones. Now the same with the 3 cuts, we'll be able to get 8 pieces. Let's see how. So when you make dimension cuts along the different dimension, lengthwise 1 cut we make it. I'm making 3 cuts, no? Lengthwise ones, breadthwise ones, heightwise ones. When you make lengthwise as 1 cut, that results in 2 pieces, no? What do you mean by lengthwise 1 cut? When you make this cut, so here this side 1 piece, this side 1 piece, you're able to get 2 pieces. When you make a vertical cut like this, that 2 results in 4. When you make another horizontal cut like this, that 4 results in 8. To put it mathematically, each cut is getting you 2 pieces. If you multiply them, you are able to get 8 such pieces. So this is the concept behind this question. But when doing the cubes concept, we'll be doing elaborately about this. But to solve this question, we need to understand at least this one. Now coming to this 2024 CSAT question. What is the least possible number of cuts required to cut a cube into 64 identical pieces? So guys, we are looking for 64 identical pieces. A cube must be having equal number of cubes along each of the edges. So we'll make this 64 as a 4 by 4 by 4 volume cube, so that lengthwise 4, breadthwise 4, heightwise 4 pieces could be there. To get this 4 identical cubes, we need 3 cuts, right? And for this 4 piece also 3 cuts. For this also 3 cuts. The total of how many cuts are required, guys? A total of 9 cuts are required on minimum basis. Maximum could be 64 also you can make it. Small sum identical cuts you can make. 63 cuts you can make to get 64 pieces. But here you are looking for minimum number of pieces. To get a minimum number of pieces, this is the idea. So what is the answer? 9 cuts are required. Let's go for next question. In the expression 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, here not into, it's a symbol. The star is chosen one of the 3 operations of plus, minus, into at most 2 times. Each at most of 2 times means each of the symbol plus or minus or into can be used a maximum of 2 times. What is the smallest non-negative value of the expression? So let me write down this expression, guys. What is that? It is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So here I notice that 5 plus 2 is 7, 4 plus 3 is 7. So to make the sum to be 7, what I do is I'll keep minus here. If I keep plus here and I keep into here. What is 2 into 1? That is 2. 5 minus 4 minus 3 is 7. Plus 2 into 1 is 2. What is 7 minus 7? So the smallest non-negative integer could be 0. So this question can be easily solved, but some people might take some time while swapping the operations. But with the kind of practice we train you guys, I hope it's easy to follow. Let's go for next question. Let's see the question. A certain number of men can complete a piece of work in 6K days, where K is a natural number. By what percentage should the number of men be increased so that the work can be completed in 5K days? So the concept of time and work is very important to understand. Let me tell you what you mean by time and work, how they're correlated. In a generic sense, think guys, if someone is taking more time, what does it implicate? It implicate that he is doing with a less efficiency. More time-taking person will be working with less efficiency, and less time-taking person would be working with more efficiency. Does it imply that time and work are inversely proportional? Time and work are inversely proportional. Now, coming to time context here, the days would be nothing but the time taken to complete. So initially it is taking 6K days. Now it is taking 5K days. How do you think that the days has being decreased from 6K to 5K? By acquiring more number of people. So by increasing the number of people. So firstly, let's talk about days to efficiency. Efficiency is nothing but the workforce. So the work ratio should be 5K to 6K, right? Because of time and work are inversely proportional. So this has to be 5:6. This has to be what? Efficiency has to be 5:6. What do you mean by efficiency increase? Does that mean that the number of people are being increased, which results in increase in work? So initially, if 5 people are there, now it has to be done by 6 people. What is the percentage increase? The percentage increase would be 1 upon 5 into 100, which is nothing but 20% must be increased. Otherwise, you can also see that by basic observation, if 5 is becoming 6, there is a 1 increase. This 1 is what percent of 5? 1 by 5. 1 by 5, how do you convert into percentage? By multiplying with 100, this has to be 20%, option 3. Hope it's clear. So the concept of time and work and the small percentage calculations is being tested in this. Anyways, it's a foundation for these two topics. Let's move on to the next question. We have one more question on time and work. So that's what I keep telling you to the all CSAT aspirants. Whatever the topic you learn with perfection. Learn with perfection so that there are questions on multiple questions has come, it's easy to solve. Okay, let's understand. This is one of the very good question actually. So XYZ can work a piece of work individually in 6 hours, 8 hours, respectively. X, Y, Z. Actually, there is typo error. One more 8 hours has to be there. That means X can work in 6 hours, Y can work in 8 hours, Z can also work in 8 hours, respectively, if they work independently. But how do they solve the questions on time and work? In our training, we'll tell you to go by LCM method. So to get the total amount of work, we'll be taking the LCM for the given days or hours. So here the total work is taken to be 24 units. 24 units. So that means what is the work done by X? So we can treat this to be a total of 24 chocolates are there, which are eaten by XYZ in 6, 8 hours respectively. Then how many chocolates would be eaten by the person X? 24 by 6, which is 4 units. What about Y? 3. What about Z? 3. This context is okay, but the very important aspect is understanding the remaining template. However, only one person at a time can work in each hour. Only one person is working each time, and nobody can work for 2 consecutive hours. So X is not possible. Y is not possible. Z is also not possible. XY or YZ or XZ, those are possible combinations. So all are engaged to finish the work. Somehow, everybody's contribution must be there to complete the piece of work. Then, what is the minimum amount of time needed that they'll be complete the work? So, are you looking for minimum time or maximum time? We're looking for minimum time. So, dear students, if you're looking for a minimum time, we have to take a person who work with more efficiency has more number of times. He has to work more oftenly. So let me consider this way. X is working 4 units. Now I don't mind about Y and Z because both of them are working with equal efficiency. Either Y or Z can be working for second day, which is of 3 units. Now, if we take Y, Z can be taken next. But looking for minimum time, a person with maximum efficiency should work more number of times. That's how you can minimize the number of days. Now let us take X again. X is 4. Again, out of Y and Z, we don't mind 3. Again, X will take 4. Y and Z will be taking 3. This way, they'll be working, guys. Let's understand now. Here in 2 days, 7. Another 2 days, 7. Another 2 days, 7. That means for 6 days, how much work is contributed so far? 7 3s are 21 units is being done. But we have a total of 24 units, right? So that means the next X again will work. A balance of 3 units has to be done. Why 3? Why? Because out of 24, 21 is done. A balance of 3 units is left out, which will be done by X. So now X is doing 4 units in 1 hour. 3 units he will do in 3/4 hour, right? So that means the total time would be, it is not 6 days basically. The conversion is in hours, right? It has to be 6 hours. So you'll take 6 hours, 3/4 hour, which means 6 hours, 45 minutes. Because 3/4 hour means 45 minutes, right? So you'll be taking 6 hours, 45 minutes. That's option 3. So this is very familiar question in our training aspirant. Hopefully, whoever attend our classes could have been solved this question with ease. Let's move on to next question, by the way. How many consecutive zeros are there at the end of the integer obtained in the product 1/2 into 2/4 into 3/6 into and so on 25/50? So in exam, if anybody sees this question, they'll get panic array. We have so many number of numbers. But having said that, to have some basic idea about unit concept, cyclicity concept, it's easy to solve. If you look for 25/50, 25 can be written as 5/2 power 50 is 5/100, right? Basically, you are looking for terminating zeros, the number of zeros which comes after a non-zero digit. Generally, a 0 can be obtained by the product of 2 and 5. That means to get, here you have 5/100. So it is obvious if only 5s or 100s are there, 100 5s are there, before these numbers, every other number is having 2s. It is 2/4 means 2 is there for 4 times. 4/8 means 2 is there for 16 times. So it's obvious that 2s will be more in number. So here if you have 5/100, we have 100 5s are there in now. 100 5s are there only in 25/50. When you consider 5s in before that, we have 20, we have 15, we have 5. So all of that, we have more number of 5s, right? So there is a chance to get, not chance, there is 100% more 5s than 100. So the minimum number of zeros in this 25/50 expression itself is 100. When you consider all of these numbers, it's obvious that there are more than 100 zeros ending. That means what is answer? 200. But one more similar question. This is easy to solve actually. But in one of the previous questions they asked you, let me show you that answer. It has come in 2020 paper. How many zeros are there at the end of this product? 1 into, 5 into, 10 into, 15 into, and so on up to 60. So here, if you want to get the number of zeros, we have to have a combination of 2 and 5. So if you can count the number of 2s and number of 5s, basically you are done. So for that, what we do, guys, we will factorize into 2s and 5s, and we will try to see how many common 2s and 5s are there. So anyways, this is we discussed in our classroom. Now, because of the time constraints, I want to make a short video. I'm skipping this. What I wanted to tell you is, so if you want to prepare for CSAT, have a look on PYQs. So PYQs will give a definite idea what kind of questions you can expect in exams, at least to basic extent. Next. On January 1st, 2023, a person saved 1 rupee. Okay. On 2nd January, he saved 2 rupees more on the previous day. So at the first day, as he's saving 1 rupee, now he will save 3 rupees. Next, another 2 rupees more, another 2 rupees more, another 2 rupees more, and so on. Do you see these are odd numbers? Then, at the end of which date was his total savings a perfect square as well as a perfect cube? So basically, if you look for the numbers, if you add these numbers on which date that you are going to get a number which is a perfect square as well as a perfect cube. So dear students, look for numbers. First, it is 1 square. it is 1 cube as well. After that, 64 is a second number, which is 8 square, which is 4 cube as well, isn't it? So, and third number would be 729, which is 27 square and a 9 cube. So all these observations, obviously, we will write down in number series and number system concept. So hope you are aware of it, and so on. Next is 4096 and so on. There are so many such numbers are there, but is relevant till this is a small proportion of numbers. So basically, you can add manually, or you can count the number of odd days sum. What is sum of odd numbers? The sum of n natural numbers would be n into n plus 1 by 2. You can use it. This is a very familiar technique that we'll use to solve most of the previous questions as well. And the sum of odd numbers would be n square. Since you're looking for 64, which is nothing but 8 square, nothing but on 8th January, we are going to have this. You can count manually also. So in this way, we can try to work out the QYQs of CSAT. So there are, okay, let me wind up. Let me do one more question, one more interesting question. Generally, people tend to panic after looking for the size of numbers, but that's not true all the time. Here, I'll prove it. Let's see once. We have a number. So 222 power 333 plus 333 power 222 is divisible by which of the following options? Dear students, as this is even number raised to any number is always even number. True. This is odd number raised to any odd number is always odd number. What is even plus odd? Odd. So an odd number cannot be divisible by 2. Now, why I got such an idea? Because I see number 2 in most of the options. So it is divisible by 2 and 33. But we got even plus odd is odd. Is odd number divisible by 2? No. Odd number not divisible by 2. Then only option is option 2. This way you can work out. This is expected by the examiner, but if you wanted to solve manually, you can solve it. Can we write 222 as 111 into 2 power 333? You can solve 333 as 111 into 3 power 222. Both the expressions have 111 common and something can be written. 111 can be written as 3 into 37 into something. So we already know that it is not divisible by 2 and it has to be divisible by 3 and 37 because the number itself is a multiple of 3 and 37. That's how we can do it. Okay, so there is one more question that I collected, that is looking for a unit digit concept. So basically, as the time constraints are there, I'm winding this up this video. Now let me show you the summary of the CSAT PYQs. So I have displayed different types of questions, year-wise, how many questions they have asked. So the heaviest weightage goes to number system, dear students. What is the highest number of questions asked for any topic? Number system has highest weightage in every year. In fact, in 2024 also, there are many questions played on number system. Then other thing would be about percentages, applications of percentage like profit and loss, ratio proportions, mixtures, all that can be done. Next important thing is about word problem. We can consider word problem also as a linear equations. So word problems are one more important aspect. We have PNC, probability and data interpretation of late that become very common. Sequence and series, or they can be sequence and series is a very wide range of topic, which includes a number series, letter series, miscellaneous letter series, alphanumeric series. So those plays a vital role actually. And of late, as I said, that PNC probability also playing a vital role. And then we have time and work, time and distance, clocks, calendars. These are also most repeatedly tested. And we have geometry and diagrams also. Of late, they are very important. So coming to the syllabus, here, I'm not going to read all the chapters. I have listed down in the whatever the way that I have prepared the content. So I have prepared the content which is relevant to the most recent CSAT syllabus. So this is how I will be training the aspirants of CSAT wherever I go. So you can list down if you want. And coming to the number of sessions. So the typical CSAT syllabus will be taking 75 hours to 80 hours to make it a student to understand it basically. And later, as I said, it's most thing is depends upon the students' practice and taking the mock papers as well. So I wish you all the best to dear students. Best wishes. Thank you so much.